Well, good morning. We're out for a hike today, and well, I'll tell you about it after. But the plan today was I was actually going for a wild camp today. Well, I would have been coming back today. I'll rephrase that, I'll start again. Yesterday I was going for a wild camp, but things got all cockeyed and changed around. But I thought today I'll just come out for a little hike. I say a little, it's about 6 miles. Now, it's one I've never done before, right? It's like a set one, got it off OS Maps. And the funny thing is, right, the area I knew, right, but I've never been here before because this is actually, remember if you watch the video where I had a run alongside the Humber, and I says to you that's the start of the, I nearly said West Island Way then, that's the start of the Yorkshire Wolds way. Well, after you've done that bit, you cut across a couple of roads, go through a little village, then you hit this bit. This is sort of like stage 2, for want of a better word, of the Yorkshire Wolds way. Whoa, bloody hell. Have a look in front of us. That is thick, thick mud. Really bad mud. I'm so glad I brought my big boots and my trekking poles. But I had a feeling it'd be like this. But can't be helped. Like I said, I've never been along here before. Alright, so I'm literally following a route. So we'll just have to see what happens. Oh, nice doggy. Hello. Hello. No. Hello. I'm just filming everything. I haven't been down this side before. Tell you what, there's lots and lots of fences around here, isn't there? Can't say I blame the farmers though. It's getting better, but there's still a lot of people that leave rubbish when they're camping, unfortunately. Like I say though, it's getting better. It's not as bad as it has been in past years, but there's still a lot of places where people leave rubbish and farmers just don't want it. Can't say I blame them. That's why, if you're new to hiking and camping, just a little tip, almost, I have to emphasise the word almost, because if not, people will say things like Dartmoor and you know, but it's almost illegal to wild camp anywhere in the United Kingdom. You're alright if you're up in Scotland, they've got like a right to roam and you can basically camp just about anywhere there. But in England, it's pretty much illegal everywhere. However, there are some golden rules to get away with it. The bottom line is, if you're camping and a farmer comes up to you, even in the middle of the night, and says you're on private land, clear off. You have to, straight away. Yes boss, I'm really sorry, I apologise, I'll pack up now and I'll clear off. Or you could beg and plead with them saying, look, I didn't know this area, I've never been before, I really don't want to walk down there in the dark. I promise not to leave a mess and I'll be gone at first light. They may allow you to stay the night. However, if not, and the farmer says no, clear off, you have to. At this point in time, the police aren't involved. You're not really breaking any laws, right? So you're not going to get arrested or out as long as you pack up and leave. Now, if you blankly refuse and say, oh, sod off, I'm not going anywhere, 2 o'clock in the bloody morning, you can get stuffed, then the farmer has every right to call the police and you will be arrested. And I'm not going to tell you what the fines are because I can't remember, and I've been making up a number off the top of my head. But the last time I looked, it was thousands, right? And I believe it could come with a jail sentence, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, the thing is, if a farmer tells you to leave, leave. It's simple. Now, I said there's ways around things. There is kind of, which farmers know about, and 90% of them will allow it. The old 10 up late and pack away and sod off early type thing. Pitch your tent late, pack it away first light and clear off. But you still have to be away from the farmer's land. There's 2 ways to judge it. There's the 2,000 foot mark. If you're above 2,000 feet, no one gives a damn. Trust me, no farmer's going to climb 2,000 feet to tell you to sod off his land. Right? Or if you're higher than the highest wall or fence that the farmers obviously put up or whatever, then you can usually get away with it. However, you have to use your own common sense, because I'm a bit out of breath climbing that. What the hell's going into me? If you look up this hill here in front of us, there's a fence at the top of it. So that is the highest fence round here. But you can't just pitch your tent on the other side of it, because you're still really low down to the farmer's land. So there's a bit of common sense in that one as well. But respect the land, pitch your tent as late as possible, pack it away as early as possible, usually first light. Don't mean you have to leave, you can pack all your tent down and then you can stay, cook something to eat, have your coffee or whatever, but it's best to get your tent packed away. Yeah, that's it really. They're your guidelines. So once again, that's definitely enough for me, so let's just keep going. Well, I'm only using the built-in mic again, so don't know if you're gonna hear me, but just spoke to a couple of ladies up there, and they were saying it gets a lot muddier, and believe me, from where I've just walked, they weren't fibbing. I've just checked them on the right path again, and I am. The funny thing is, when I've watched a lot of the Yorkshire Wolds Way videos, you never see this part. I think people must cut it out for some reason, or maybe there's 1 or 2 videos I've missed. I know one thing, I reckon in summer, when everything's dry, it should be a great place for trail run. I know a lot of people would say, well, it's great in winter, and what's wrong, are you scared of the mud? No, I'm scared of slipping and damaging my leg. But in summer, Whoa! Let's catch our feet off vans and go flying. I'll tell you what, I'm glad I had my gaiters on then, because my pants might have got caught as well. You see, like here, legally you could not wild camp, going back to what I was on about before, because there is definitely a pass through here. And that's a farmer's field and stuff. Alright. But if you was doing a long hike and you got to this point, right, let's say it's summer, it gets dark at about 10, doesn't it? If you pitched your tent about 10:30 at night, when it's pretty darkish but not completely blanked out, and then you left about 5 a.m. in the morning, you know what I mean, you'd be okay. But you have to make sure you leave no trace. Yeah, it's quite pretty in here. That looks like somebody building something. Nobody in there and you can see straight through it, but yeah. I don't want to sideline too much. Stand on you this time rather than you dragging me down. Dear the Triffids. Yeah, I don't want to sideline too much because I don't know how long this is going to take me, because I've never done it before and I don't know how bad certain areas are. And we all know the worse the area, the muddier, the slower you go. You've got no choice. Slows your feet up, doesn't it? Oh, now you go back to a normal path again. That's bloody weird, isn't it? All that splodgy mud in that one section, and then you come back here and it's fine again. Very pretty round here though, isn't it? I mean, the views are magnificent. I mean, bloody hell. Bloody mist. I don't know what it is about country houses when they're painted white. They always look better than the standard brick ones. You sort of expect them to be painted white, don't you, a country house? I don't know, maybe it's just me. And I'm off track. Bloody hell. Yeah, I'm off the track. Let me put my poles down and check my readings, and I'll bring you back. How the hell have I done that one again, George? Well, so busy talking to the bloody camera, I am completely off trail. I need to be over there. That's all fenced off. That road I was on, I had to walk nearly a quarter of a mile back up it. I've tried cutting through, but it's all fenced off. But I think I figured it out because we're having GPS problems up here. Hence why it's always best to use paper maps. But I think I figured it out. Looks like there's a trail behind a house, which I walked right past. Whoa! Sugar. That way don't look as slippery. I'll get down here, my GPS will come back and it'll tell me to go back up here following this route. Because it does look like... Oh, I'll have to check this now, see if my GPS has come back. Yeah. Bloody hell. Just spotted this. You see, the thing is, I was right over there, right over there. I've zigzagged back, nearly half a mile, whatever it was. My last reading said that way, so I've cut through the fence over there, followed that fence up to the top, realised it's all fenced off, came all the way back down here again, and down here I picked up a GPS signal and a public footpath sign telling me to go this way. And yeah, so if I'd have gone from over there and just cut across, I'd have been fine. But like I said, I'd lost GPS signal up there. So, oh well, all good fun. I'll tell you what, I've just added, well, about a mile onto it, but having to double back and stuff. But I would say I've just added about an extra, with all the faffing about, nearly 45 minutes onto my journey. Right, see if we can... Yeah. Funny thing is, there's a road there. It leads right up there, and we followed it all the way down. Now we seem to be going all the way back up, but through the trees. So, see if we can get a signal here, just so I can double check. Right, good news is I've got a signal. The better news is I'm heading the right way. So there's a road over there, you come all the way down it, cut through a gate, and go all the way back up there. But yeah, like I said, when I got to that, I never saw the sign, I was busy chatting away. And I went at least a mile up there. And there was like a new modern house I was looking at, and I showed you. And then all the time before my watch had been dinging and dinging and dinging at me. And I thought, I know there's a turn-off coming up in about a quarter of a mile or whatever. Well, he wasn't saying that, he was saying he was way off course, George. And then you know the rest, I turned back, started heading, and lost GPS lock. Because the thing is as well, with this watch, there's 3 GPS settings you can use. There's like a standard GPS setting, and you can use that for about something like 60 days before your battery would need recharging. And then there's a higher strength GPS lock, and you can use that for about, I don't know, just over a month before your battery would need charging. And then there's a GPS lock, right, that's so strong, it'll work in caves underground, you'll get a GPS signal. But that drains your battery so fast, you only get about 6 hours of battery life. So that is a sort of like last resort. If you was underground, lost in a cave, you check it every now and again, you won't leave that on. But yeah, I just leave mine on the standard. It's never let me down until today. But I could have changed it up, but I knew I was around the general area. So yeah. Anyway, got a bit of climbing to do, so I'll bring you back a bit later. When we get up here, we turn off to the right. You can see this. Ooh. Come on, come on. Thank you. So pretty. Yeah, I can see the Humber over there. So it's not as if we could get lost. Head to the Humber, then walk 5 miles to get the car. I'll just stop here 5 minutes, let that guy go. Ah, there it is. See that house over there in the distance, just down the bottom of the hill? That's the one I stood in front of, which was sort of like brand new, it looked like, or up for sale, whatever it was. But there's nobody living there. And I'd walked about, I don't know, nearly a mile past it, right? At least 3/4 of a mile past it before I realised. And that was when I swang in. I looked at the offline map and realised I knew I needed to be at this side. And when I'd come back down, these trees here that we're looking at down there, I cut in there, but it was all fenced off and stuff. And it was saying off trail, off trail, off trail, but all fenced off. So I thought, how the hell? So that was when I went back down again, slightly to the right, and that's when I picked up the trail, dropped my signal back, which led us all the way up through this lot to here, through here. And seeing as that's the Humber, and we're sort of like, the direction we're looking at it now is the direction of a place called Welton, which is where I parked. So I know it's over there. I could check my map on my phone now, because I know I've got a perfect signal, and find out exactly where we are and everything. But that is, you know what I mean? Even when I'm following a paper map, you don't want to look at it every second. You want to enjoy the adventure. If you go off trail, so what? I mean, I'm just being off trail. I'm wasting over half an hour getting back on trail, but it's part of the fun, isn't it? Part of the enjoyment. I mean, you don't want to go 5-10 mile off trail, granted, but I don't like checking stuff every single second, you know what I mean? You think, right, I'm heading that way for about a mile or whatever, so I'll go over there, I'll walk for about a mile or so, and then I'll have a check. If I'm off trail, I'm off trail, I'll sort it out. Anyway, nice and pretty here. Let's get going. Might just have a little bit more of my coffee. Been sipping at that because, as I said, short on water. Be alright when I get back to the car. I'll have a good guzzle of a litre. Okay then, let's get going. Nice sunset, isn't it? Well then, right, my battery's nearly out. So I'm going to end this one here. What it is, there's a road path in front of us, road in front of us there. We have to follow the road for about, I don't know, 10 minutes and then just cut across onto that muddy track and then back walk down that thick muddy track for a mile what we started with. Right, that's that track we started with, if you remember. Well, no point showing you that, and with the battery being just about gone, I thought I'd end this one here and simply say I hope you enjoyed this little adventure. Got me out the house, made a change, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Got to see something different. Look forward to coming again actually. Now that I've got an idea of the route, I can take my time and plan ahead. You get me? And make sure I bring more water. I don't leave it in the car. Okay then, right. Like I said, I'll leave this one here and simply say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and yeah, cheers.